with them. That's undeserved. I'm not going there, but I have had a problem with a company in the past, and I still trade with them now. They're an okay company. I'm just a bit rude about how they've treated me in the past when dealing with returns. That's all it is, really. Especially when it wasn't my fault. Cancel that one, and we will just assume that this next one cannot be right. Ow. Oh, that's going to crash me into the mun. Pull you back. About there. These maneuvers are just getting so tight now. I don't want to keep playing around with them. I'd rather. Oh, don't know what I've done with that one now. But periapsis, add a maneuver. Oh, not speed up, slow down. Yes, get into orbit on the mun. Deal with it from there in. Come back into there, get a bit closer. In a day. Go back up to 50 times speed. 100 times speed. 1000 times speed. That's a bit better. So that day should melt off a bit. Just gotta keep an eye on that time. So yes, I was expecting not rubbish, but definitely not the experience I had with Amazon. And oh, there's only 5 hours in a day. Expecting that. There we go. Still got a lot more talking to do, and I don't even know how I'm going to attempt these temperature readings of a month. I've got a funny feeling I ain't. Simply put. Yes. Got the new processor fitted, and my newest problem that I've got with it now. Found out the motherboard can't supply enough voltage or current, or basically just enough power to the CPU if the CPU is running at 100% burnout. It just can't do it. Doesn't quite. It's like 0.1 voltage short. If I run all 8 processors, all 8 cores at 99%, I'm fine. Absolutely fine. If one of them hits 100%, it falls over. I kid you not. The thing will run absolutely fine at the 99% state. It can run like that all day. I've had it running like that all day, trying to figure out why it was still blue screening on me. All the cores are fine. None of them are burnt out this time. And it was literally driving me insane. I could not work out for the life of me why I was still getting blue screens. And it took me a long dig around. Found out people don't recommend this processor and this motherboard combination. Stop. Just don't recommend it because of the very reason I've just told you. It doesn't supply enough juice. It supplies up to the very limit of the juice. Okay, so time warp's down. I thought maybe it's because I was approaching the node, but because I'm in orbit around the mun now. What's the mun? Oh, no, there's the mun, look! In orbit around the mun. Yeah, there it is. So, this is going to be kind of epic. You know, I never even thought of approaching the mun from this direction before because it's backwards. How does this say I'm going to pass by the mun? It's just saying I fired straight out, and Oh, no, no, no. I'm this blue line here. So it's saying... Yeah, it's just saying the moon's just gonna catch up with me. Come on, you man. Come on, you man. Come on, you can get past that slow-ass moving rocket in the slow lane. Wow, I never even thought of like landing on the moon like this. It'd be different, at least. See, my normal approach would be to come out here and go around. This time I'm kind of come out and now I'm just gonna let the moon take me. And hopefully not crash. Hence why the unmanned probe. I didn't know this if this was gonna work or not. Yeah, perhaps it's... Yeah. Amazon... yeah. Where was I? Voltage CPU, that's right. So... Yes, I can run a full render using my graphics card as well. Graphics card obviously needs a little bit of overhead and has the unfortunate chance of pushing at least a core to 10. It'll fall over. However, a render now to a 1.5 hour render takes 9 hours, give or take half an hour. I can leave it running overnight and come back to it in the morning, and I've got a 45-minute clip. 45-minute clip, 1.5 hour clip, which I can then chunk up and compress and stick up on YouTube, and half an hour segment takes an hour to upload. You might be wondering why I don't batch them up. I do. I then stick it on a release schedule, and I've had to buy a diary so I can keep track of this as well. I was considering sticking all the Space Engineers upon Space Engineers there, as suggested by my lovely girlfriend, and soon to be my wife. Haha, getting married in the morning. Well, not literally, but ironing out the kinks in that one. Mainly, we're both too fucking lazy to go. Hey. Yeah. Jesus Christ, this is epic. Why am I missing this? Every day that this happens. About to minimize that, and it's like, I don't. Basically, what's happening is the moon's overtaking me, and then soon I'm going to have to find my rocket to play catch up. Like, literally, the moon is overtaking me. The moon is going past me, not the other way around, which you would expect from a rocket. So this is all kinds of awesome. Lighting effects having a bit of a problem. I have increased graphics fidelity on this game, and it's running at a nice solid 30 FPS. I would like it to run a bit stronger than that, but YouTube records at 30 FPS and uploads at 30 FPS isn't a big deal. Right, I'm burning, because I should have burnt already. Fire the rocket! Why is there no throttle? Why is there no nothing? I got absolutely no control over this ship. Right, what's gonna happen now then? Delete that node. I don't know what's happened, but for some reason I've got absolutely no control over the ship. Better than nothing. I'm gonna have to perform emergency try and get. Oh, I'm in warp. Rightio. I bring that up here. Need it. Yes, don't be in warp. Right, so about 20 seconds. Not going to be the most beautiful of orbits, but it'll have to do. We'll come back out of that. So the moon's overtaken us. Lovely. Not exactly the air position I tend to, but you live and learn. Still got plenty of fuel left on this baby anyhow. Enough to correct the orbit, and then I might have to just Okay, don't know what happened there. I think I set the stages up slightly wrong. Oh, I remember what this rocket was originally used for now. It's test the Rocco Max stupid thing. Oh well. Hopefully that's a fix. So we'll delete that, and then I'll get back to talking about my stupid life. We're going off. I want at the ascending node, hold the node down. Realize what's going to happen. And what? Let's have a node down. Add a maneuver, hold the node down. Or slow it down. Hold the node down. Slow it down. But hey, speed it up. Node. I haven't got a clue what happened there. Add a maneuver. Hold the node down. 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 Yankee, but that should be it. In 2 minutes. Just make sure I stay in orbit. I did one of these before and came out of orbit, didn't I? That was a little unexpected. So, we should be able to get my turn on as well now that we've lost the ass of this ship. Of course, I'll overshoot everything. Right, so where was I? Voltages and motherboard. Yeah, the combo doesn't work brilliantly. Bit of a shame, really. It just like quite enough power. Oh yeah, I was on about my schedule, wasn't I? Yeah, because I battery record all of these, especially Space Engineers. Space Engineers is the biggest offender at the moment because we don't have a lot of time together. We've all got full-time jobs. Therefore, I randomly picked a day where I know I will not be working, and which is a bloody shame because the day that I picked actually turns out to be god awful. One of my favourite local restaurants had to do all you can eat on that day as well. At the exact same time, I've told everyone we'll start recording on this day on a regular basis. So, yeah, no all you can eat for poor little or D. Oh, can I have some more water? It's been so long since I've had to record. I'm kind of not used to it. I was even, if you watch the recent Space Engineers, you'll notice that I struggle throughout just to keep talking. However, if you watch the latest Space Engineers, in fact, the day this goes up, the new Space Engineers, the one that I'm talking about right now, should be last week. Yeah. Yes, that's how it's going to work. The one I'm on about now, if you watch all my videos, should have already seen it. It's literally the one that's gone by. So you'll know what's happened in it. We got absolutely bombarded by meteorites to such a point where the base where we was going to build the base isn't even viable anymore. And the new place where we're building the base is inside an asteroid. Good luck with building that. Kind of just complete craziness has happened, really, when it comes to that game. We was all under a lot of stress, so none of us were chatting. Absolutely none of us. We were just like, we've got to get this done, we've got to get this done, we've got to get this done, we've got to get this built. And then, unfortunately, we did lose a team member, and he didn't have a med bay. We lost good old Atomic, as per usual. If anyone's going to die, it's usually going to be him. God knows why. He's very capable at the game. I rip him to shreds in the game. I honestly. However, he's probably a slightly better pilot than I am. I know he's gutsier than I am. Yeah, I do rip him. It's because I love him so. He's been a huge help towards this channel. To such a point where I've actually made him a manager now. I've just turned around and said, look, you contribute so much. Help me run it. Quite possibly not one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, because I still don't know who the hell he is. Log in one day, decide to rob the channel of all of his assets and go on a screaming monkey rampage. I don't know what he's going to do. But I trust him. I trust him enough to think he'll definitely help. And he has helped so far, and he's enjoyed immensely the stuff that I've put in personally. He's done all the artwork for the channel so far, and he'll continue to do so in the future. However, I think I may have got a new background for him instead of using the old wormhole effect. The wormhole effect isn't his. It is something I borrowed from the internet. If anyone does know the original creator for that, feel free to drop me a comment. If you're happy with me still using it, I will continue. If you want royalties or any of that kind of thing, sorry, I'm making enough money to make that viable, and I will drop it. You know, it's your work at the end of the day. Come claim it, and if you're happy with me using it, I will continue it. And if you're not, I will quite happily stop using it. But it's up to you. It's your work. I don't ever want to. I mean, I didn't make this game, this wonderfully brilliant game. I thought of a few ways on how I can build upon it, but I'm nowhere near that kind of level. Let's hope. Stages. There we go. Picturesque orbit. Where are we? 48 minutes out. So, with the other retailer that shall remain unnamed. Best iteration of my computer. This is going back 7 years now. And the company, not fledgling, maybe been around the years, but I found out it's very local to where I am now, like super local. And by super local, I mean about 2 hours walking. I don't drive, there's no direct buses, and it was summer, so well, autumn-ish. So I figured, why not? I'll walk down. Built an entirely new PC. I got the motherboard, I got the processor. That was my first foray into, or believe it or not. My brother at the time went a bit more all out and got quad, and regretted it ever since. I can't really tell his story for him, but I do feel sorry for him a lot when it comes to. So yeah, speed up time just a smidgen. 2 missions complete, 1 probe. I like it. Although I don't think the probe's ever going to get back, and I was hoping to get a low temperature. But I really should have checked up on. I accepted these missions back when the game did the gaming thing. Let's have a look. Below 10,000 meters. Below. Oh no. In space flight above 9,000. So below 8,000. Below 8,000. Below 10. Oops. Above 6. Below 8. Above 9. And yeah, that's the one I'm now. Still can't get that parachute one. Land on the moon. I've got to land a vessel on the moon. Got a plan for this, and then the bore engines, which suborbital trajectory, so 10 to 24, and that's suborbital for Minmus. That might be making an exciting next time. But that's 10 to 24. Minmus is supposedly smaller than the moon. 8 to 13 is gonna. What's it? 13 above 6. 8,600. Below 8,800. So yeah, that might be a bit difficult to do. However, I'm going to crash this into the moon anyhow, so I might as well try and grab as much data as I can as I'm going in. Yeah, the company that shall remain unknown. Built my first dual-core processor computer from them. Bought the processor. That worked fine. Bought the memory. That worked fine. Bought the power supply unit. That worked fine. And I bought a new case, which worked fine as well. You know, all the makings of epic computerness. 7 years ago, dual core weren't so great, but they definitely went like computer best in tech, but on a budget, cost you up into bust out the big guns later on in life. And at the time, I'd heard quad cores needed liquid cooling, so I wasn't going to go play around with that. Got it all home, hooked it all up, stuck it in the case, and nothing. Not even error beeps. Nothing. I blamed the power supply unit. Sorry, I've just adjusted the microphone, so if the sound suddenly goes panic, I do apologise. Turns out the motherboard itself was shorted. Now, being an aspiring engineer at the time, I had a multimeter tool borrowed from a friend. I had this, I had that. I had all the tools so I could diagnose the problem myself. Rang up over the phone, and I said rang up over, and it's like, well, of course you rang up over the phone, and yeah, my brain just shorted itself out there. Rang them up, and basically I said, look, the motherboard's shorted. At this time, actually, I don't even think I had the motherboard fitted into the case. Full stop. I had it on its static wrapping because I've been buying dodgy parts off eBay for my old computer, and it's how I got into the habit of testing the parts before putting them into the machine after the famous incident of the black smoke, which is another tale for another time. Probably after this one. This is basically just turning into, how can you fuck up a computer worse than ND? So yeah, I had it on its table, on the static sheet, so it wasn't touching any metal components. On risers, I'm not that stupid, but underneath was the static sheet, so if it did fall or flop down or melt, it's not going to ruin the desk underneath. And you know, it's on risers. I'm not completely fucking in there, and I realized just how stupid that made me sound. But yeah, the risers were on top of the static sheet, and then the motherboard was on top of the risers. Little plastic affairs. You can get them off eBay. They're cheap enough. And yeah, I'd hooked it all up outside the case just to make sure everything worked, and the motherboard was shorted. I don't know where the short was, but yeah, the motherboard was kaput. It wasn't getting any power later on in the stages of the motherboard boot up sequence. It was somewhere near, like, basically the power connector. I don't know if it'd been torn off or whatnot, but it just wasn't working. Yeah, I'll do. Get into the next position. And I suppose we start the next complicated bit. Game there, and then we'll just check this. Can we slow you down a bit, actually? Oh, no. Again. Whoops. See, now we're playing with like a couple of seconds of burn each way. So, you know, getting a spot on is a little bit more difficult than what one would like. There we go. That should get me pretty much near perfect order. Orbit. Yeah, ranked the company up, said, look, there's a problem with the motherboard. I've tested it. I've tested it with my own multimeter, and it's just not getting power up to the CPU point, let alone anywhere else on the board. Pretty sure it was the CPU point. I mean, this is going back 7 years, and I didn't exactly make written logs. And over the phone, they were like, yeah, bring it in. This is no problem at all. You know, sometimes things like this happen. We do apologise. Bring it in, and we will replace it there and then, or refund your money if we don't have your model in. Me being naive, I was fairly naive at that time. I was like, okay, yeah, that's no problem at all. Brought it in with my receipt, queued up, returned the part, and I went, well, where's my new one then? No, we're gonna have to test it. Excuse me, what? No, we're gonna have to test it to make sure, you know, you've not tampered with it in any way just to get your money back. Over the phone, you made it very clear that I was gonna get a new one, or at least a refund of some type. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's never worked like that. We don't do that, full stop. It just doesn't happen like that. And I was very distraught at this point in time, because it was a lot of money. I just spent 2 hours walking in the sun. I was going to have to spend another 2 hours walking in the sun back, and I'm not even going to be able to build a PC at the end of it. I was like, well, give me a refund then. You know, the goods are not up to quality. You know, I want my refund. And I've looked into it recently, and it's actually part of UK law. Yes, I can actually get a refund. You know, they were like, no, we're going to have to test it first before I can refund it. and all of this. And no, actually, you should have given me a refund there and then.